And with that, week 1 of the NFL is in the books. Thank you to Barstool Sports. Lions fans, you have a long season in front of you. That was a Lions fan last night after Monday Night Football wraps up with the Lions losing to the Jets again. And I think this represents a lot of fans. I know I felt this way after the Steelers-Browns game. I think everybody knows at least one guy like that in their life. You know, the guy who, once he puts his jersey on at the beginning of the season, he does not take that jersey off.
Until the beginning of February?
Well, well, who knows? It depends how far I would say so.
That's true.
Right, I was going to say how far his team goes, but no, he continues to wear that jersey straight through February and continues to bitch in the playoffs about how his team...
We're not everything all year! I'm saying
I think the only NFL fan who doesn't get that way, Patriots fan. Patriots fan doesn't get that way.
I don't know. What about when the Chiefs beat them last year to open the season? Do you think they got a little bit irritated?
Wow, rubbing a little salt in those New England wounds. All right, well, speaking of the guys in the jerseys, there are 3 things that you need to know today.
Let's find out. 1.
So I came across this study, and it says the age of men when they start dressing correctly for their age is never.
How do you do, fellow kids?
Who decides what is age-appropriate clothing?
I don't know.
Look, I can tell you right now, 43.7% of the reason I chose the career I did is the fact that I can wear a t-shirt and shorts anytime I want.
That's valid. That had a lot to do with me choosing this part of the career, too.
I'm not a 1950s banker. I mean, I don't need to wear a 3-piece suit every day to work, and I think a lot of guys do dress for the job you have. And then, I mean, look, I can rock a suit. There's photographic evidence out there of it.
Yes.
But what does age-appropriate mean?
I don't know. Maybe things like hoodies and skinny jeans?
So they're saying, well, okay, now you and I recently took a trip to Denver.
Yes.
And we did see a guy that was on the tour with us, who behind his back I started referring to as Fashion Dad.
He was a gentleman probably in his mid to late 50s wearing skinny jeans and a t-shirt.
Oh, he wasn't mid to late 50s? Oh, no. Remember we talked to him. He was my age. He was like 43, 44 years old.
Okay, he looked to be in his mid to late 50s. He looked a little bit older.
Hey, he had that leather kind of face. Why do we who cares? It doesn't matter what he looked like. He was Fashion Dad, all right?
He was Fashion Dad.
He had the skinny jeans, and he was rocking kind of like the windbreaker thing or whatever. So, I guess... But then again, what am I to say? Because I wear, cargo shorts and an Elvis t-shirt probably 3 out of 5 days of the week.
I think you may have been wearing your Elvis t-shirt that day.
That's why I thought of that. Exactly. So, age appropriate. How many times have you and I seen a guy, let's say, and we have friends. We have friends in their 70s. They're north of 70 years old, and we see a guy rocking a t-shirt, right? Maybe his favorite band t-shirt.
Love it.
That's the first thing you say, right? Now, go back 30 years.
Okay.
30 years, this guy who's north of 70 years old, let's say 73. 30 years ago, he would have been my age. He would have been 43. Listen, man, you go ahead and rock out in that Tears for Fears t-shirt. You rock out in that You rock out in that Tears for damn it! You rock out in that Tears for Fears. Oh my God, are you?
New York State Police say 2 troopers that pulled over a car outside of Albany on Thursday. While the routine questioning was going on, a little girl in the backseat held up a bag of marijuana and a pipe.
Was she claiming it as hers?
I don't know.
Well, first of all, I think that's just her sucking on the bottle. I'm pretty sure that's what that was. They teach kids this from preschool, though. I mean, if you see mommy and daddy, if you see them doing something, you're supposed to tell a teacher or an adult you trust. We have a friend, a tattoo artist friend of ours, that I know that he had to have a conversation with his daughter about, listen, the stuff that dad goes and smokes outside, you can't tell your teacher about.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. I was there for that conversation. I don't want to talk about why I was there for that conversation, but this was many years ago we had this conversation. And look, with kids like that, you don't need drug-sniffing dogs, do you?
No.
Look, you could satisfy PETA by getting rid of drug-sniffing dogs and take advantage of those child leash things that I hate seeing parents use for their kids. All right, so if you take away the drug-sniffing dogs, get this kid to train other kids how to sniff out the drugs, and then you put those kids on leashes, and then you release them onto cars, boom, right away you make PETA happy, you get good use for the child leashes, you are killing two birds, well, all right, wait, you know what I mean. All right, and finally.
Oh, please.
An Ohio woman who worked behind the counter at a supermarket deli was recently busted for eating meat behind the counter.
Tina, come get some ham.
It turns out that every day she was believed to have taken about 3 to 5 slices.
I believe that is actual audio of the woman at work.
Tina, come get some ham.
Well, ham was her preferred meat, but
See?
sometimes she did dabble in salami.
Now, first of all, when you go to a grocery store, you go to any deli, if the person behind the counter, how many times have you been there and they offer you if you want to have a free slice of something? Would you like to try this?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Well, wouldn't you think that the employees would be allowed to take a slice or two a day? How much does that really add up to?
Well, it's funny you should ask, because her managers added it up, and for the 5 years that she worked there, they estimated the losses to be $9,200.
$9,000 in meat?
Yeah, technically she could qualify for a felony charge.
Well, okay, it just sounds like someone has a grudge or an axe to grind with Tina at work, if you will.
Tina, come get some ham.
That's exactly what happened. I guess one of her coworkers reported her to management.
From what I understand, they actually have audio of the police investigation.
Tina, you fat lard, come get some dinner. Tina, eat. Eat the food. Eat the food.
And on that note, we are going to get out of here real quickly. Of course, 9/11 today, we are not going to not remember and not going to mention it. We have to say thank you to all first responders. We have a very close relationship with many of them all across the United States. And thank you to the men and women that put their lives on the line to protect us. And take a moment today to remember them and those that lost their lives on this day 17 years ago. And be sure to subscribe. We'll do another That Podcast I Like tomorrow. And subscribe to the other podcast. That, of course, is My Daily Beer. We'll talk to you tomorrow. You know we love you.